Hi guys, this is my second video when I'm trying to introduce my workshop and my works. Today's video is about the shop tour. So I feel like before we begin to make projects, we have to know what the workshop does and how it's set up so that it can inspire anybody who's looking forward to having a workshop, to know what to buy, when to buy, and maybe check out the layout. The next video will be to introduce projects and give machine tutorials on how to handle the machines, to troubleshoot, and the best practice to handle them. So let's jump right in. Alright guys, so this is my first workstation. This is my welding table with a small welding machine, a chop saw, and an angle grinder for metal. On top of the table I do have accessories like this is an electric drill, the fume exhauster for taking out smoke when I'm welding, and the micro drill for drilling easy metal like copper, brass. And then here, this is my soldering station. These are my work horseshoes for holding stock when I'm cutting it down to size. Then below I have I have a table saw. So this is a portable table saw, but I modified it to make it bigger. I put it on a bigger table, working table, and an aluminum fence, and then put it on the steel frame. Then below this is the wheel for adjusting height and angle. At the front there, in a bit, this is call it a extension clearing table. When I cut stock, it doesn't fall because it's a little bit risky to let cut stock to fall to the floor. It might flip and fly back on your face. This is my circular saw that I've made to be a track saw. Put it on the rails so it can cut long stock at a straight line. I've also removed the blade guard, but the blade is under the surface, so it's safe. Then here below the track saw I have smaller circular saws that help me cut smaller projects really quick, really fast without a setup. And then here, this is my best workstation. This is a router table, also made by myself. The aluminum fence, steel frame, and a router below with a height adjustment mechanism. I also have the push blocks, this the height adjusting thing, feather boards to help reduce the kickback when you're running stock. And because I love routers so much, I have collected quite a number. This is the plunge one, fixed base, wireless, and other palm routers. And then here above the routers I have place where I keep the router bits so I can easily get them and take them back. These are other things to help me with the routers. This is my sanding machine. Next to it, there's an oscillating sanding machine that helps me sand circular objects. This is a scroll saw for cutting tiny and delicate work. This is where I store all my drill bits and hand tools like pliers. These two are very, very useful machines. There's a vacuum pump and a pressure pot. Also here the fire extinguisher because resin can get really hot. This is my bandsaw, a small one next to the miter saw, which is located next to the bench grinder. I use the white wheels for my tools because they don't heat the tools very quickly and they are soft, they are gentle on tools. Now this is a planer for making stock straight on one side, and because sometimes you can buy stock that has been compromised, like warped or curved, so this is how you make it 100% parallel. And then you cannot have a planer without having you cannot have a jointer, it's a jointer. You cannot have a jointer without having a thickness planer. So after I move from the jointer, I come into the thickness planer to reduce stock to desirable thickness. So these two go together. The first one, the first one is called a jointer. Here, this is my table for making pens, and I have two lathe machines. This is a mini machine for making smaller projects, and it's portable. I can take it to site. There's a bigger one for making bigger stock, but it's not as big as the gurus use. These are my turning chisels on wheels, on caster wheels. In this drawer, like shelves, I converted the shelf into storage. These are chucks, very, very essential. And these are they help me to hold the stock without it flying apart. These are the center finders. The lathe too. I have two of them. And then right next to it, I have a leather station. This is where I do my leather projects. This is a leather machine and hammers and all the accessories dealing with leather. This is a leather punching tool to make me have precise holes on the leather. And this is the leather joining, like leather flattening machine. There's a real quick one. And below here, more accessories. And the next to it, I have a bench grinder. This machine is very, very, very versatile. Helps me drill different size of holes, big, small, accurately and repeatedly. Next to it, I store my drill bits. Then a dust collection. Next to it, I have speakers for music, but below I have clamps for leather when I combine leather and wood. Then right next to it, I have drill bits organized by size and thickness. I also have a jig on the drill bit, and then below I have the car lifting jack to make my work extremely stable. This is the car jack. Yeah, next is a workbench. This is my big workbench, but I have modified it so that below it has a circular saw, router, and a jigsaw, so that I don't have to do runs to collect the tools when I'm working on some projects. The next is an air compressor below the miter station. Very useful tool. Use compressed air for a lot of things, from cleaning, pneumatic tools, pressure pot. Then next to it I have a dust collection machine. Yeah, I think those are the main components, the main tools that I have in my workshop. This is the general overview, the size, the layout, the fan, because it's pretty hot. And the trucks are right there. The entire welding bench. And then this is my organization of the machines for sanding, the bench grinder, leather, lathe machines, chop saw, bandsaw, air compressor, thickness planer, jointer, the rotor table right here. This is the door, my workbench. We'll talk about it in the future. Now next to how I store my screws and all those, this is where I put them, arranged according to size, from the lightest to the heaviest. Then I have the sandpaper rack, jigs for routers, and then these are I store my clamps, because you must have clamps to give you extra support. These are the shelves where I put semi-finished products and finished ones. Then I have the yoga mat to help me stand for long hours. This is where I store my consumables, spray paint, resin, glue, activator, all those things, kind of things. This is where I put it. Stick remover, fillable gas, all those, contact cement, and mixing machine if we have a lot of resin to do. Yeah, I think, and the floor is green so that when I drop something I can easily locate. That's all. Yeah, as you have seen, it's a very tiny space, but again, I'm self-taught. I was just trying and learning from established individuals, and then try and error until I come up with the perfect practice. Not that perfect according to the old timers, but is a learning curve. So this is my beginning. So let's see, in the next video I'll be dropping in on how to make a clock. I've made a wall clock by mixing about 5 different types of species to make a timeless piece. Thank you. And if you want to get more of this, kindly don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you.